Hey guys, it's Jess for Technihouse Inspections. I am in the basement and this home has had a partial waterproofing system installed. I kind of tell my clients that basement waterproofing is a little bit of a misnomer. It's water management. So I'm going to flip the camera around and I will kind of give you the broad strokes of how these systems work. They generally do work really well, but I say that with some caveats, and this basement is an example of that, so I'll show you. Now this is a recently flipped home, so any staining we see here we'll know is actively happening, right? So you can see this corrugated material here, right? So what they do basically, the broad strokes of when they install a system like this is they're going to, what's behind here is the drainage, so you can kind of see there's a gap behind there. And what they do is they're going to take a jackhammer all along the edge of your foundation wall, and they're going to create a trough, an area. They're going to drill holes through the block, and they're going to allow that water to come through the foundation wall into your new drainage plane, and then they will tie it into, if you have an existing sump, they will tie that into your existing sump, or they will put in a new sump for you. And there'll be a pump in there, and when the water level gets so high, it will kick on and it'll pump it and dump it outside your house. So the systems generally work well. One thing though that I always tell people, if you have a block wall, is that block are hollow, so water can fill up one block, and so a block wall can kind of hold water in a different way than a poured wall can. So I often find that there is still leaking and seepage above a waterproofing system that is installed like this. So I'll flip this around and I'll show you the staining that I'm talking about. So these walls were all pretty recently painted, and you can see how low that drainage plane is, right? So water's got to get all the way down this wall there before it can actually be managed by this system. So what I'm looking at, see the actual staining here on the block up there? That's water that's seeping through, and these are recently painted and mortared walls. So that's water that's wanting to seep through above that system, and you can see we're, you know, five blocks above that system. So it's why I generally, for a block wall, I prefer, they do make systems where that mesh, that drainage plane comes much higher up the wall, and I have found that those systems tend to work better on block walls specifically. Poured walls tend to do really well with this low system, but if you have a block foundation and you're having leaking problems and you're considering a waterproofing system installation, talk with the company and see if they have an option that they can kind of run that drainage and that mesh further up the wall so that you can manage all of the water higher up. Just something to consider. All right, bye guys.